This show is brought to you in part by viewers like you who joined a Patreon or become YouTube members. Thank you. And if you could, hit the like button and subscribe if you want more Browns-focused content.
I think the Browns defense should be pretty disappointed in themselves this week. Now, that's a take that's been controversial, right? Some people have been upset with me for suggesting that the defense was as responsible for losing that game as the offense. I stand by it. As bad as it was that the offense could not get a first down at the end of that game to ice it with 3 minutes left, that they only took 30 seconds off the clock, poor execution. They deserve criticism for all of it. I've done videos about why Kevin deserves criticism for his clock management in that game. I did a whole breakdown. At the end of it, I'm talking about that play, the play of Dylan Gabriel in the fourth quarter. It wasn't good enough. So the offense, they're going to get criticized. They've been criticized. They didn't do enough to win that game. But see, sometimes on the internet, we like to act like only one thing can be true. Only the one thing I want to blame is the only thing that can be blamed. And anybody who wants to blame this anything else other than what I want to blame must think that the thing I'm blaming wasn't the problem, right? See, everybody wants to blame the offense. Everybody wants to be mad at the offense, and I am blaming the offense for losing this game. But I'm also saying that the defense failed in this game as well. They failed the challenge in front of them. I don't care how great the defense has been before this. I don't care that the defense got 2 turnovers. The fact that Carson Wentz was able to go 80 yards downfield on you at the end of this game to win it, and you're supposed to be an elite defense, the best defense in the NFL. And I'm not just saying that because that's what people on the internet said this defense was. That's what the Browns themselves have said this defense is. The Browns players have talked about themselves as an elite unit. Myles Garrett has talked about himself as the best defensive player on earth. So that's the standard in which they wish to be judged, and quite frankly, their play before this game demands that they be judged by. So no, I'm not using a normal rubric when I look at the Browns. I'm not judging the Browns by the same metrics that I would judge the Cincinnati Bengals or some bullshit like that. I'm judging them based on what I think elite defenses should do in those situations. And in no world will I ever have a pass for an elite defense allowing Carson Wentz in 2025 on his 15th team or whatever it is, a quarterback that was so bad, Browns fans this summer recoiled at the thought of bringing in Carson Wentz. Some of y'all said to me, if we brought in Carson Wentz, Quincy, I quit. I'm not going to be a Browns fan. That's how little y'all thought of Carson Wentz. And I wasn't standing in the way of it. I agreed with a lot of it. That's the man that we allowed to go 80 yards downfield on us at the end of the game with 3 backup offensive linemen. That's the man that got 3 70-plus yard touchdown drives off on this defense. 3 70-yard. You know that Joe Burrow didn't even get 1. Carson Wentz got 3 off on you. And I'm supposed to act like everything was just all hunky-dory. It's all good. Defense been good all year. Let me give them a pass, right? That's what I should do. Please. Defense has elite expectations. That means I expect them to do elite stuff in elite moments. That means I expect them to be able to bail out the offense. That's literally part of the job. What do you think the 2000 Ravens are remembered for being so damn great for? They had to do nothing but bail out Trent Dilfer. You think they were sitting there letting dudes like Carson Wentz go 80 on them? Talking about, oh, yeah, it's okay. It's really our offense's fault. Are you kidding me? I hope after this game, this staff, the defensive staff specifically, is tearing them up about this. I hope that Jim Schwartz is embarrassed about this. Because they should be. They should walk into Sunday in Heinz Field with something to prove. They should walk in Sunday at Heinz Field with thinking of it as an opportunity to show the world that they ain't what they did on Sunday. And I like that Greg Newsome is not living off these excuses that people want to give him on the internet, right? I like that these excuses aren't what the Browns are absorbing internally. I like that they said that it's on them, because it is on them. They're the best part of this team. They had a chance to win this game for the Browns, and they let us down. The offense is not the best part of this team. To be fair to this offense, and look, they were mediocre, not even mediocre. They were worse than mediocre on Sunday. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. But they didn't turn the ball over. They didn't put the defense in adverse situations this week, like they did against the Lions, like they did against Baltimore. So it's not like the offense was the defense's biggest op. I've been saying that for a couple of weeks, that the biggest threat to the Browns defense is the Browns offense, because they keep turning the ball over. That's why Joe Flacco got benched. Well, they didn't turn the ball over this week. First game all season, I believe the Browns didn't turn the ball over. So it wasn't like the defense was being dealt the worst hand in the world. The offense just didn't score more than 17 points. And again, the offense should score more than 17 points. And the offense can't expect to win a lot of games this year if they can't score more than 17 points. That's not okay for the offense to only be scoring 17 points. But this week, you had a chance to win with the offense only scoring 17 points. Those opportunities are rare, and if you're an elite defense, you got to take advantage of those. Can't lose no low-scoring game when you're supposed to be one of the elite defenses in the NFL. You got to win those. You got to thrive off of those kind of opportunities if you're supposed to be a team that wants to win with an elite defense. You can't have excuses. And all I'm hearing about the end of this drive is excuses. Oh, it shouldn't have happened. Oh, they shouldn't have been out there. I don't care. You were out there. Did you do something to stop Carson Wentz? So, yeah, I'm disappointed in the defense. Yeah, I think that they should get fried this week from the coaching staff, and the coaching staff should put and challenge them to show up this week versus Pittsburgh. And yeah, I think there's no problem with that. I don't think that's ignoring the fact that the offense wasn't good either. But the fact is, we need the defense to be elite to do anything this year. And what we saw Sunday, not elite. Not elite. And I've defended this defense. When people are like, oh, they gave up so many points versus Baltimore, I defended them tooth and nail. Those were turnovers, did all kind of damage to them. Same thing against the Lions. I'm not somebody trying to put my thumb on the scale trying to tell you this defense ain't elite. I'm upset because I know this defense is better than this. But they didn't play better than this. This defense deserves to be criticized this week. Again, worst performance of the year in my opinion. Let Carson Wentz get the highest yards against this defense any team has had, with 3 backup offensive linemen and 3 70-plus play drives on this defense. It's shocking when a team does it once against this defense. We let them do it 3 times. Unacceptable. If they would have stopped Carson Wentz on this drive, they would have been heroes. They would have been the reason we won. But allowing that 80 yards, allowing that touchdown, yeah, that takes you from being the reason we won to the reason we lost. It's kind of like scoring 30 points and missing the game-winning shot when you was wide open. Don't nobody give a fuck about them 30 points anymore. You missed the game winner. You was open. What the hell? Then you trying to tell me, oh, man, Anderson Varejao missed some free throws. That's why we lost. I ain't trying to hear that shit. Before we get into that, I want to thank my sponsor for today, Sleeper. Real quick, just want to let you guys know Sleeper has a new offer here. They're offering a free $20 entry, no deposit required. And also, if you're a first-time user, you also will receive a 100% match on up to $100 when you use the promo code WORSTTAKE. Again, $20 free, no deposit required. Plus, first-time users also receive 100% deposit match up to $100. join Sleeper. From the defense, man. 80 yards, Carson Wentz here. And I want you to watch this. And if you were mad at me about blaming the defense or being upset at the defense, watch this tape and tell me that you truly feel like you can look me straight in the eye and tell me you truly feel like this effort they put in this drive was elite. If you can look me in the eye and say that after this drive, I ain't got nothing to say to you. But truly, watch this tape and tell me that they gave you an elite effort in an elite part of the game. They supposed to live for opportunities like this. Opportunities where they got the lead and all they got to do is get the deep offense off the field. They are supposed to live for moments like this where the game is on the line and it's their job to stop it. This is a defensive player's dream. Let's see how they respond to that dream. First thing goes wrong here. They run the ball. Who's in that gap? Whose gap is that? Right? You now know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about run fits. What's the run fit assignment? 1, 2, 3. Whose gap? Whose gap? That's what the gap alignment looks like, right? Supposed to be this gap, this gap, this gap. Instead, this is bad. This is not good from Carson Schlesinger. This is fine from Miles Harden. And this is just atrocious from whoever's supposed to be in this gap. Ain't nobody there. Devin Bush, nobody there. Who is supposed to be there? Or was this a call that Jim Schwartz had that had nobody on the backside gap of this play? If that's the case, then Jim Schwartz, quite literally, what the hell are we doing? I mean, like, for real, whose responsibility is this? It's either Carson Schlesinger's or it's Devin Bush. I think Schlesinger did a bad job here. Gets himself caught in traffic. He's too much into Miles Harden's business here. He gets washed by the guard. He should be close enough to be able to make a play on this. He's not there until this is a 7-yard run. Devin Bush don't even make it there until the end. Whose gap responsibility was this? First play of the biggest drive of the game. This is what we doing. Okay. This is what we doing. This is what we on. Play number 2. Browns send a blitz. They're trying to get home, right? 2nd and 1. What they're trying to do is push back Minnesota, get them behind the sticks, right? Get a sack here. Reset the game. Get some momentum. They send 6 on what ends up being 2 chips and 6 blockers. So one-on-ones for everybody. They don't get home. Not only do they not get home, they don't particularly put any kind of pressure in Carson Wentz's face here, right? Like, this is a pretty clean base that he has. He's not crowded. He's not really bothered. He gets this off pretty clean. You're doing the 6-man pressure because you think you can get home quickly with 6 men. So, like, yeah, I get it that he gets rid of this ball quickly. But the whole point is because you're trying to create a free run. You're trying to get some quick pressure, something, right? Doesn't happen. Why doesn't it happen? Partly because the execution on this blitz was sloppy as shit. Let's look at the back end of it. Left side of this blitz, sloppy as shit. Every single one of them. Every single one of them. Myles Garrett, this is a slow loop for Myles Garrett. Doesn't even win it. Look at this. This is a bad Myles Garrett rep. Gets bumped, loops into 64, and just no power. Where's the power here from Myles? We've seen Miles hit guys with power. Like, this guy's off a base. Hit him with some power. What's that? That's not nothing. That's bullshit, Miles. What the fuck was that? Best defensive player in the world. And I'm not saying that to be sarcastic or judgmental or because I don't believe it. I'm saying that because I believe it. He's the best defensive player in the world, and this ain't it. This ain't what you expect. This ain't it. Shelby Harris on his one-on-one. I mean, that's fine, I guess. Carson Schlesinger just gets his ass beat here. Just wrangled. Put him in the washing machine. They made him roll around, tumble, dumble. Wrangled the boy. And here come Dan Fries, or whatever his name is, 76, whooping Mason Graham. Look at this. Look at this. $60, $64, $76. All three of the backups we can't do shit with right now. Ain't that funny? We get Miles. That's the best Miles got on 64. That's it. That brother was on a practice squad 2 weeks ago. And now he can just stop Myles Garrett so easily, right? It must be because they're just so good. No. It's not. Sloppy execution on the blitz. And then I'm going to point this out, and then I want you guys to go watch my Dylan Gabriel film breakdown where you can see the Minnesota Vikings defense. Watch Minnesota's defense when in that breakdown. They're always getting their hands up. They're doing everything they can that's possible to win every rep. They're on the ground. They're diving. They're never giving up on the play. They're always trying to do everything possible to win. The Browns defense, I mean, nobody gets a hand up here. And you're going to watch this tape from now until they score that touchdown. I don't think a single defensive lineman gets a hand up to try to bat a pass. Not once. Now we get to talk about them in zone. Thought they were way too passive. The reaction time was slow. Just not focused. Right here. Yeah, you watch Minnesota play against us. As soon as the quarterback's about to release his ball, they're already 4 or 5 yards downhill, going full speed right at the target. We ain't going full speed at the target until that ball is damn near at the receiver. We let them get 3 extra yards. And again, 1st and 10. What we allowing the Vikings to do? Stay ahead of the sticks. Are we getting in their face? Not really. Mason Graham got a 2-way go. He can't win it. Shelby at least wins his battle. Miles got a double to a guard and a tackle. I'm going to be honest here. I understand why Miles didn't win this rep, but I don't think Miles put his all into this rep. Second and 4. And this, again, they should be embarrassed by this. Soft, loose zone right here. Soft and loose. By the way, Schlesinger allows himself to just get completely looked off again. I'm really high on Schlesinger, but this was dog shit. Ball thrown to the tight end. We late to react to the throw. I mean, that ball is pretty much to the tight end by the time we're reacting to it. We're late, and we can't get a good tackle there. We let them get like 8, 9 extra yards. And now they're in 1st down. They're staying ahead of the sticks. They're able to do whatever they want. This is a defense. This is an offense that is starting Carson Wentz and 3 backup offensive linemen against an elite defense. And we powerless? Are we kidding me? Come on, man. I don't want to hear about, oh, well, this is because McVay has figured you out. I've heard a lot of that, right? Where people are just kind of like hand waving this performance from the defense and saying, oh, well, he's a McVay disciple and that the McVay guys have figured it out. That's bullshit. The Browns defense has stopped McVay disciples before. I think LaFleur was a McVay disciple. They stopped him. They stopped Zach Taylor's offense all the time. He's a McVay disciple, right? So the idea, he's from this magical coaching tree that we can't stop is bullshit. We stopped Kyle Shanahan's offense. We stop Matt LaFleur is just as much as an offensive mind as Kevin O'Connell is, right? Like they're both viewed as geniuses. So I don't buy this whole, they got figured out thing. They just ran into a good offensive coordinator finally. They ran into top mocking one coordinator the year before. This defense gives him hell all the time. Matt LaFleur is one of the most highly regarded offensive minds in football. Brought Aaron Rodgers back to MVP form in his late 30s. They were able to dominate them. So I don't really think this is because they got figured out. I think this is because they just did not play to their standard. When I watch the Vikings in this game, and I'm seeing their players give individual efforts like we're about to see from Justin Jefferson right here, the impression I get is that the Vikings have players on this drive who are motivated by reasons. We gotta win this game. We can't lose. We got an opportunity. We gotta make a play happen. We gotta make a play to win the game. We gotta do what we need to lock this up. That's what's going on in the head of the Minnesota Vikings. Much like when the Browns are playing the Packers, that's what's going through the head of the Browns defense. But this week in London, for whatever reason, the Browns weren't motivated by reasons. The Browns were motivated by excuses. Oh, man, why we out here? The offense should have got a first down. Why ain't nobody doing that? Where are you at? Where are you at? Who cares? Make a play. Nobody on this defense was interested in making a play. We were playing defensively with the mindset of a team up 20 points. That's how we played. We played this shit like it was a blowout and we was going to win anyways. This is the effort that we gave at the end of this game. I hope they are embarrassed. I hope that they see next week as an opportunity to correct the record because this shit ain't acceptable. And if we start seeing that this kind of stuff is acceptable, you know what that tells me? This is a team okay with losing. Then everybody got to go at that point. Everybody got to go. Can't have it. Can't have it. Again, when one team's motivated by reasons and the other team's motivated by excuses, there's only one result that's possible. There's only one result that's possible. Look at this. No hands up. No hands up. Bunch of flat feet. Jogging. Nobody trying to get anybody motivated. Nobody trying to lead nothing. Just a bunch of dejection. We're losers. That's what it looks like. They're better than this. They're not losers. They shouldn't be reacting like this. Now, this is the part that really gets me. Because these three plays, they lost the game in these three plays. Well, really, these two plays. They lost the game in these two plays, in my opinion, right here. Now, it's bad enough they got the ball to the 30. It's bad enough they got the ball to the 30. But to the 27 or something. And they're already in field goal range. 1 minute, 10 seconds left. They got a timeout. They're going to be able to at least tie this game. So that's bad enough. But what makes this worse is what happened in the next two plays. You get a third down stop here. You force a field goal. And you can at least get the offense the ball back with the chance to break the tie, or you can get back on the field in overtime. Now, right here, you're starting to see a little bit more energy, right? I got to give him credit on that. That's the kind of energy I've been wanting to see. Ball gets released. Look how fast is that Miles Harden? Yeah, it's Miles Harden that reacts to this. Look how fast he gets here. Boom, like that. But, son, you got to make the tackle. Got to make the tackle. You make the tackle here. You turn that goes to be what? At most, a 3-yard gain that gets him behind the sticks. You know, it puts him at 2nd and 7. Instead, they get to 2nd and 6. Well, no, not 2nd and 6. They get to like 2nd and 5. Make the tackle. Got to make the tackle. Yeah, you got to make the tackle there. Can't give up the extra 3 yards. So that would have been, yeah, it's about what? How many yards does he get after that contact? One, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 yards. It's 4 extra yards there. Got to make the tackle. Second and 6 here. They go screen again. Well, not even screen. They just check it down. Now we get here. We're in good position. We might even get a TFL, right? Right now, the contact is about 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Might get a TFL. Make this a what? 2-yard loss? Push it to 3rd and 8? That would have been huge. But we just don't bring them down quite completely. And yeah, Miles Harden, individually, it's hard to ask him that. But Miles Harden shouldn't be the only person around the ball right now. This ain't the kind of effort that I expect from this defense. And because we didn't finish the play, instead of that being a 2-yard loss and it being 3rd and 8, we being in good position, nah, he actually gains 2 yards here. Makes it a 3rd and 4. Now, why is that important? Why is it being a 3rd and 4 possible? Not possible, but important, right? Why am I complaining about just a handful of yards here? Right? Maybe it's not that big of a deal to you. It's a big deal to me because it being 3rd and 4 is part of the reason why Kevin O'Connell is able to call this play up and it be successful for a first down. Because the play he calls, I ain't going to hold you. It's fire. It's a bomb play. Ain't nothing the Browns defense was going to be able to do about it if they needed to get a stop of 5 yards and less. Right? Like if they needed a 3rd and 5, a 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, this was a money play. And they were going to beat it because they just schemed up the Browns here. Got to give Kevin O'Connell his credit. But if it were 3rd and 8, if it were 3rd and 9, then guess what? They can't call this play. And maybe you get them off the field on 3rd and 9. And maybe they kick a field goal. And maybe you have your timeouts. And maybe you win the game. You want to see what I mean by they schemed this up on 3rd and 4 and why this play call would only have worked on the 3rd and 5 and shorter? We'll see right here. Again, notice how the defensive line doesn't get their hands up, by the way. They've been throwing short stuff all game. We ain't done nothing about it. This is a brilliant play call. Can't do nothing about that. They picked on Miles Harden at the end of this game. And this is a brilliant play call. Look at that. Put 3 in motion. Force them to run around. This reminds me, and correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't this the Tyreek Hill play they ran on us? Kansas City ran on us in 2020, the 2020 playoffs? This feels like that same play. They put you in motion. They fake a run to hold Grant Delpit into his gap. Since it's 3rd and short and not 3rd and 9, Grant has to respect his run responsibility here instead of saying, I'm just going to run straight to the flat because it clearly looks like you're trying to do something there. The down and distance on this play allows it to happen. This play would not have been successful on 3rd and 7, on 3rd and 8, on 3rd and 9. It wouldn't have even been called on 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 9 or 3rd and 7. It wouldn't be an option. They would have had to table this. They were saving this for a goal line situation. But because it's 3rd and 4, this play's successful. Ain't shit you could do about it. You lost the game 2 plays before. You ain't even know it. You didn't even know it. You gave up that first down when you missed the tackle on first down, when you missed the tackle on second down. That's when you gave up this 3rd down. This 3rd down right here, I can't say they could have done anything to beat it. They couldn't have. They schemed you up. They got you in the right defense, got you in the right look. They cooked you. Got to give credit where credit's due. Kevin O'Connell's a hell of a coach. But there was something you could do about first down. There was something you could do about second down. And what you could have done is had more effort. Finish the play. This is stuff you don't beg an elite defense to do. First and 10 right after that. Get another screen. We still missing tackles. Still missing tackles. And look at the body language here. I don't know why the hell Grant want them to run the clock. What Grant want them to run the clock for? What the hell that gonna do? They got a timeout. They got to go, 15 yards? With one timeout? We got 50 seconds left. They got your ass already. Would you run the clock, make it harder on your offense? Okay, that's where we at. That's the level of locked in we are. Again, look at this defense and tell me this feels like a locked in defense to you. Only person who feels locked in is avoiding my slander is number 96, Malik Collins. Everybody else, nah, not locked in. Nah. Maybe a little bit Isaiah McGuire. He kind of bull rushed this guy over here. Nah, his guy just fell. Good effort, though. At least he's sprinting. Nobody's got their hands up in the air, but at least he's sprinting. Does it feel locked into you? I don't feel locked into me, man. Maybe I expect too much from this defense. Maybe I expect them to stop teams in situations like that, and that's unfair. I mean, right here, end of the game. Okay, it's a coverage bust, right? This is a coverage bust. Denzel just kind of lets him go by because he thinks he has somebody over top. That's just not acceptable. That's just unacceptable. First of all, Denzel, I hate the effort on this play. This ain't enough effort. You cannot look at this play and say you did everything you could to help the team win here. Because first of all, why don't you put a hand up here? Right? You're looking at the ball, you're tracking it. What's the harm in just trying to make something happen? I'm not saying that the jump would be successful, but maybe it could do something. Maybe you get a hand on it. Maybe it blocks his view. Maybe it does something. But what are we doing? If we're gonna play this route like this, we're gonna play this zone like this, why aren't we at least jumping for the ball? Getting on the ground. I saw the Vikings in the Dylan Gabriel film break now get down on the ground, dive to get some batted passes 3-4 times. Denzel Ward, most important player of the game, can't even jump. Nah, it's over. Yeah, I let it go. Let him score. Why jump? Why make it harder? Nah. Again, man, they got reasons, we got excuses. Oh, it ain't my fault. It ain't my fault. Let me stank walk off the field. I don't like the amount of energy I'm getting from the defense on this drive of, well, I did my job. They should have did their job. I don't like that shit. I don't like it. You supposed to be elite. You supposed to live for moments like this. Opportunity with the lead to close the game out. I don't care what the score is. I don't care how much the offense scored. If you play defense, you should live for this. Instead, we playing salty football. Just salty, nasty football. Like, we really proud of this effort, 21? We really proud of this effort? This is what we want our legacy to be? I mean, you wear 21. Is that what Dion would do? You can ask Shador. He on the bench too. This it? This all we got? Best in the world? Best defense? That's what we got. They should be furious about this. They should be furious about this. Should the offense be furious? Yeah, of course. The offense should have been furious for the last month and a half. But the defense? No. Everybody talking about them, the best defense in the NFL. Not after that. Your one national TV game, that's what you did. That's the one time the whole world gonna be able to watch you play football, and you put that shit out there. You let Carson Wentz go 70 on you 3 times. Every time you do something, people gonna remember that you let Carson Wentz go down the field on you. That stank ain't gonna get off your name until you do something more impressive to make people forget it. Because right now, people ain't gonna look at you like no elite defense. They're gonna look at you as a defense that Carson Wentz conquered. Nah, they can't be happy about that. Nobody should be happy about this. Nobody should be acting like this is a good performance from the defense. This was bad. And by their standards, it's pathetic. The effort, not there. The energy in a situation like that, not there. Not one person intentionally on the ground trying to make a play. Nobody leaving their feet to make a play. Nobody maximizing every opportunity in front of them to make a play. We're just letting shit happen. And then we're pointing afterwards. Oh, where were you? Where were you? Where were you? Where were you? Y'all have a great day. Have an even better night. Peace.